What's up, my fellow actors? Kurt Yu here from actingcareercenter.com. I'm doing another hotel room video today because I am currently out of town working on a television show, and I wanted to share a story from working on set yesterday that I think is a good lesson for a lot of newer actors. I had a scene yesterday with a couple other actors, and I played a doctor, which I tend to a lot, and then there was a patient and a nurse in the scene. And in our scene, all of the actors, we individually kind of prepared for the scene beforehand, right? We worked on our lines, and we did all of our prep work before going on set. But then once we arrived on set, and this happens quite a bit, they end up changing things around. They ended up adding a couple lines. They added a line for the patient, a question, and then they added a line for me, the doctor, to respond. And then they ended up changing a couple lines too. Some of the lines that were already in the script, they wanted the patient to say something different, and then they wanted the doctor to say something different. So they changed quite a bit in this scene on set while we were there. And this doesn't happen in every scene, but it happens enough where actors need to be prepared for it. I think this is where experience really does come into play, because when they did come in and the director comes in and asks us to add this line and then add this line and then change this line and then change this other line, none of the actors in the scene batted an eye. We were all locked in, said, all right, okay, got it, let's do it. And then we did the scene again, and everybody did it all the new way. I should also point out they also added different blocking, and what blocking is the movement that you have in the scene. So originally they wanted me as the doctor to walk in and then reference the patient's chart and talk about what's going on. But then when they changed the lines and they changed the scene, they said, okay, now why don't you set the chart down and then walk over and just address the patient directly. All of this ends up happening in the middle of the scene while we are doing it. And this is where an inexperienced actor might get overwhelmed by what was going on. An inexperienced actor might say, oh my gosh, you're asking me to remember this new line and then also remember to change to this other line and also do all of these things that I had never rehearsed. I was also told I needed to pull out a pad and a paper and start writing in the middle of it. So the point is that having that experience, both myself and the other actors in the scene, having that experience led us to making that scene run very smoothly. And this goes back to the points that I've made in a lot of my previous videos of making sure you have proper training, getting that experience, learning an acting class where you can make those mistakes so that when you get on set, because you don't have time to make a ton of mistakes on set, right? So you make your mistakes in acting class so that when you get on set, you're ready to perform. And also, getting that experience working in plays, working in student films, in short films, and low budget indie films where the stakes are lower, where the pressure is lower, so that you understand exactly how things will happen on set, because those types of things happen in those smaller projects too. So once you've got that experience under your belt, when you go on to a bigger project, a multi-million-dollar project, when the pressure is higher, you're not going to make those same mistakes because you've made them before and you're ready for it and you're prepared for it and you understand that the unexpected things might happen. Another thing that I should mention is that the actor who played my patient, he was an A-list celebrity. He was someone that everybody knew. Now again, if someone is inexperienced, that could throw them off right then and there, working with an A-list celebrity in a scene. But because everybody was experienced and knew what they were doing, the scene went smoothly, even though they had so many changes as we were doing things. A lot of actors say that they want to act in a big Netflix show or a big Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie, and that's the first thing that they ask for. And I don't think that's a great idea. You don't want your first ever acting experience to be on a big budget $100 million project, because the pressure is going to be so high. You're going to have all these big lights on you, giant cameras in your face in front of a celebrity. They're going to be changing lines. They're going to be asking you to do all these things. You're going to get overwhelmed. So that's why you got to have experience before getting onto a big project like that. working, like I said, working in class, working on lower budget projects where you're being paid nothing, or you're being paid like $50 or $100 to gain that, all of those things that you can learn before you get onto a higher stress situation like a big budget project. All right, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and I hope to see you on set one day.